Hi there Aquarius, thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for December. I think you might agree that November was quite a frustrating time in terms of your life role, professional interest or your job, simply because the responsibilities seemed to mount up and there were lots of glitches and people seemed to be grumpy and difficult to get along with. But you know, if you really wanted to achieve a goal, you will start to prevail, and it will happen this month, despite the fact that it can be a sociable time for you. Let's just focus into why this may be. Your co-ruler, Saturn, your traditional ruler, continues to forge a great alliance to Jupiter, and Jupiter is in your sector of work and health, whereas Saturn is in the part of your scope that's to do with obligations. But Saturn can take the strain as long as we want to put the effort in. And Jupiter can at sometimes be too optimistic, but when these two work together, they balance each other out. So something that's very important to you can shape up marvellously well all through this month in a way which can truly excite you, but also lay down the foundations for what can be a thrilling 2014. Now, on the 3rd of this month, the Sun, which is now in a friendlier location, has a new moon. And that new moon really does give your social situation and aspirations a marvellous boost in the run-up to Christmas, not least because it's cooperating with your other co-ruler or co-regent of Uranus. So, that part of you that can be zany, entertaining, quirky, just a great friend can really come to life as it cooperates with the Sun and the Moon. Expect to be popular and very much in demand. Now this influence is ramped up even more when Mercury moves on the 5th, also into the friendliest part of your scope, and then itself links with Uranus. This could see friends get in touch with you completely unexpectedly, people you haven't heard from for a while, or you can make new alliances. This really can be one of the buzziest first 2 weeks of Christmas time that you've had for many a year. However, it's the arrival of Mars in your sister air sign of Libra on the 8th, which is truly so exciting. This is because you are a fixed sign. So of course, Uranus gives you the part of your nature which is able to be very individual, sometimes unpredictable, sometimes rebellious. But there's another side of you that comes from Saturn more, which likes routine, that likes to conform to expectations. You like to be a friendly person, helpful person, all these things. Well, Mars is pitching up to lay down a challenge to you, Aquarius, a challenge which is going to last for the next 8 months. Mars doesn't usually take this long in each sign, just 60 days. So this is an enormous opportunity to break down any inner resistances within yourself which stops you from pushing yourself beyond what you know. This could, if you go for it, see you travelling more than you've ever done. It could also see you learning a new language or enrolling on a higher education course or a professional qualification. It could see you wanting to move home. It could see you wanting to connect with people who are quite challenging. And just the adrenaline rush that you can get from this can be so exciting. So Mars can be wonderful for you. But like everything in astrology, it's not one-dimensional. And from the middle of the month, Mars does start to oppose Uranus, suggesting that there can be quite a lot of turbulence going on in the second half of this month. Turbulence which can be good and cathartic and life-changing, or turbulence which could be unsettling. The unsettling element comes from the role of Pluto, which remains locked in the back of your horoscope in the most psychological area. It's going to be there for years. So me, an Aquarius too, we have to kind of work with it. And what Pluto is saying is become much more conscious of our inner motivations, our deeper needs. Get in touch with any grievances or past debris that's not really sorted out and embrace it. Be comfortable with it. Get more comfortable in our own skin. But because it's squaring up with both Uranus and also Mars, if there is something that hasn't been resolved, there could be some very tense moments in the second half of this month. But perhaps you're also going to tell someone exactly what you think in a way which you've resisted in the past. Because over the last few years, before Neptune pitched back up into Pisces, it made its way through Aquarius, and it was a very softening influence. But Uranus is about being outspoken, and in Aries, even more outspoken. So if you do find yourself being blunt with someone, rocking the boat and knowing what you're doing, and even feeling a bit mischievous about it, it wouldn't be a surprise. But then Venus is also in the 12th solar house of your scope for the whole of December, pointing towards the potential for some kind of quiet attraction to someone, even a clandestine relationship. Now that's not normally the Aquarius way. Or perhaps you're having doubts about the validity of a relationship that's in your life at the current time. And certainly Mars and Uranus could see you much more freedom-loving, so it's something to be conscious of. But as the Sun and Mercury join with Venus and Pluto, in the last 10 days of this month, they forge a beautiful link with Neptune. This says to you that the value of things is not always what we think it is. So although we can be seduced by looks and material wealth and all the rest of it, it really is imperative that you do try to scratch beneath the surface. You could be enormously generous and kind to someone this Christmas time, especially someone who's not having an easy time of it. So if you know a friend in hospital, or you're interested in an overseas charity or one nearer to home, you could be really active this year, and good for you if so. But as the year comes to its close, it is going to be very important to reflect on what the previous 12 months have really meant, what they've really taught you. And then, as you enter into the new year, continue the evolution which is so potent for Aquarians at this current time. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Happy Christmas and goodbye for now.